Hey guys, my name is Zora Yurasaki, and welcome to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! This is hands down my favorite Ace Attorney game of the entire series. I am so happy to be able to play this game. It was only in Japan for the longest time, part of which was copyright reasons, but that's something we'll get over probably on the end slides, because I guarantee I can splurge and fangirl about this game right now, but we'll never start the game at that rate. I do want to point out two things. One, if you had pre-ordered the game, and I think even if you haven't pre-ordered a game, this should be an option, there is special contents DLC that has like a lot of alternate designs and whatnot, and I think costumes, but I'm not gonna touch this. However, the options is something that I want to point out. For starters, you can have either the voices in English or Japanese. There are some voice cutscenes. However, this is something new. I've never played the new port for the Ace Attorney trilogy in the Switch, but there's a story mode where you don't have to do any of the puzzles, and you just watch how the story unfolds. This is neat, but I like the appeal of being able to solve these things by myself. Now, I said this was my favorite Ace Attorney game of all time, and that's because I have played the original first one, translated by Scarlet Study, and was waiting for the second one to be fully translated by Scarlet Study before Capcom announced this. So this is gonna be weird. I've only played this game once, so I know the first half of it, and I know nothing about the second half. It's gonna be that weird semi-blind situation. It's also not an action-y, adventure-y game. It's more or less a visual novel, so a little bit different from what I usually do. But I like reading text, and I also like doing dumb voices, and that's what I'm here for. So with that, let's get started before I trail off into some other tangent. Or is what I would like to say, but I actually don't know. This is my first time touching the Switch, so I need to know like what exactly is happening. But it looks like we can start with either of these two. Obviously enough, I just want to go ahead and start a new game, and we're going to start off with the first one, The Great Ace Attorney Adventures.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. Oh my gosh, this is making me so freaking happy right now. I can barely contain myself. Just a quick disclaimer, I actually don't know if this is on autoplay. Please don't be on autoplay or we're gonna have a problem. Okay, it's not on autoplay. I have the option. So the way that this game's structured, there are actually different segments and whatnot that I'll be trying to separate them as. I usually record videos like 30-ish minutes. I can't guarantee that it's gonna be a clean start and end, so I apologize in advance. We'll kind of wing this as we go. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this little quiet chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Of course I was gonna have an issue with these names. They didn't localize a lot of these names, which I actually like that they kept them the original Japanese names. They're in Japan. Anyways, my name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Words are hard right now. Also, he looks really nice. God, I'm gonna be spazzing over this. I'm sorry. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by the student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! I thought Kazuma was saying that to me. Whatever. It looks like you're gonna get It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. That is a jumble of words right there. I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only we were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy the place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, May I have a word? Oh, they look so good! Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has a personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. Oh, this is awkward. This is awkward. I should probably hold my tongue before reading a text. If I may. Yes! Sorry! You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes! Yes, that's right! My name is Yujin Mikotoba. Wow. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recalled, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand! Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe this. But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be of no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. That word that I don't think I said correctly, and we're gonna roll with it. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything about that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? Am I gonna get married or something? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our... What are these words? It would seem our surreptitious discussions are about to be cut short. I swear to God, I'm about to punch you in the face, sir. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway! This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dream of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lies ahead, I embark on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that will decide my destiny. His face. His face. Look at those eyes. There, no, please. So this is a courtroom. Also, I can never forget Asagi's little headband just fluttering in the wind back there. The Supreme Court of Judicature? Judicature? Words are hard. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have demanded that this is to be a secret trial. You guys and your weird way of structuring sentences are too much for my simple mind. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Is that supposed to be water right next to him? The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocary to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it! This must be the question! Who's going to defend me? That's the question that the professor meant. But then, if I say, I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? What happens if I do wait and see? The obvious answer is to do I do. Also, it's still zooming in on the judge. What happens if I do wait and see? Kazuma is the lawyer here. I can't defend myself. If I say I do, it would be tantamount to lying. And I've been accused of murder, for goodness sake! This is no time for lies. Try to stop fidgeting, Ryunosuke. It's distracting. But if I don't say I'll defend myself now, things could end very badly for my friend. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will have it. Oh, he just automatically does it for me. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything. Just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I wouldn't be able to get you off. No! It's not that! Really! It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Tsk. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well.
Oh wow, he actually has his name still ouchie.
Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent. He's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Hmm? Oh, yes! Exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of, I'm not saying that word, of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, defended Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency! It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes! Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. You can assess the court record with the press of R. Why is Dad a different color? Oh, you know what? Emphasis can be damned. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record? Alright, and there's no time to lose. Alright, so there is the court record, and as such, we also have the long fabled badge, well, pin in our case. Proof that I'm a university student. So if we hit R again, we can switch over to people that are important into this case. All of this looks so good. It looks so nice. Alright, so the victim in this case is John H. Wilson. This is not his name in the original, and there's a very good reason for that. It'll be explained very easily. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. Alright, so, we got the victim in the case, we got the X button, time to present.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Wait, what is that supposed to be?
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institute that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh.
But I didn't do it.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. Ah, the world of politics is a great one. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy the place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Oh, look at those flowers in the background. Are they daffodils? The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Dependent Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency! How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. I'm actually just gonna do this one by memory. I'm not gonna look at the court record. Ryunosuke, remember that in the court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select to present. Do it now. Can I present the pin? What happens if I present the pin? Actually, the evidence that clearly shows the victim's cause of death is, of course, this. And on what basis do you present this evidence? Well, because it was on the court record, of course. Slow down. Why did you pick that? Isn't there something more relevant looking? Well, now that you say that, I suppose. Pick the wrong piece of evidence again. And it won't be a mystery as to your cause of death. Wow! Wow! Kazuma! What the heck? I thought we were supposed to be best friends. Why you gotta resort to violence? Oh god, that's a real sword. Yikes! He sounds and looks deadly serious. Okay, I'll do it correctly. So we have here the Postmortem Report. This is what's supposed to tell us the cause of death of the victim. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay, we'll look at it. Victim, John H. Wilson, male, British, time of death, 19 November, shortly after 2 p.m. Cause of death, a single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhaging. Is that actually how it's supposed to be spelled in English language? So, as you can obviously tell, especially if you learn American English, a lot of the spellings are based off of the British English. So, same word, different spellings. There's some reason not for it. I don't remember at this time. You'll probably see me floating around these screens explaining things that I'm not saying out loud because I'm too busy trying to do my dumb voices, okay? Alright, well either way, we got our we got our evidence. Let's go ahead and present it. Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhage death to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the postmortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, postmortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police member merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosions. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. And now we got our very first piece of evidence presented to the court, or added into the court record, sorry. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Keep in mind, this whole game, in case, is set in, like, actually I'm not sure what specific year, but basically not in modern times. As such, a lot of these things are much dated, and we'll see how these kind of implicate things throughout the trials. It's clearly superior to drawing. The detail is incredible. Although it's in black and white. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be will be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.